Welcome back. It is Wednesday, November 2nd in the NBA, and we have a full slate of games. I'm back with my 4 favorite picks of the day. Let's do a short recap from yesterday. A 2-in-1 day. Our best bet of the day cashes once again, moving to 13-2 on that segment. It's SGA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets it done over 26.5 points. He ends with 34. The Miami Heat win. We had their money line. That's why I'm wearing my Heat shirt today. Our only loss was Rudy Gobert's over in PRAs. He only had 1 field goal attempt. Didn't get it done. Let's keep it moving though today. As promised, we have a subscriber parlay giveaway in honor of you guys helping us pass 50,000 subscribers. If this parlay cashes, I'm giving away $500 to 25 random subscribers, $500 to 25 random COS All-Stars, and the payout right below me, over $100,000 is the payout. I'll talk about the parlay at the end of the video. All you got to do to enter, subscribe, and like the video. And then if you want to become a COS All-Star for another entry, hit that join button on the channel. I certainly would appreciate it. There's some cool perks for those All-Stars. On an unrelated note, our NFL Week 9 Best Bets video is live today at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And I don't think we're going to add a play today in the NBA, but if we do, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Calling Our Shot and check the pinned comment section down below. Time for the best bet of the day. Trying to move to 14-2. Going with this guy, Jalen Green, over 20.5 points, minus 115 on Caesars. I'd probably play this up to 22.5. I think Jalen Green can certainly get it done. And, for the people that have been betting Jalen Green each of the last 4 games and taking his over, I'm sorry, he's been hurting you, but I'm here to rescue you. As Jalen Green over the last 4 games has scored 17, 11, 15, and 13 points, going under in all 4 games. But you look at the field goal attempts, 6 for 20, 4 for 19, 5 for 18, 4 for 17. This guy can't buy a bucket. But here's what's most important. Jalen Green is 1-0 as a best bet. And he's going to 2-0 today because Jalen Green, as we talked about when we took him as the best bet segment, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 days ago, we talked about how he really struggles on the road. And once you know, the last 4 games he's played have all been on the road. And you look at his home road splits in his short NBA career. Obviously, he's a sophomore. Look, 20 points per game at home, and you see the splits on the screen. 15.1 points per game on the road. The splits going way, way down. This season, even worse. At home, he's averaging 29 points per game. On the road, 15.7 points per game. The field goal percentage is a difference by 31%. You look at the splits, he's just been terrible on the road, and that's been his common theme for him throughout his NBA career so far. And they're going to play the Clippers again, a team that he just obviously went 4 for 17 against, but I think he gets it going. I mean, you look at his last 4 versus the Clippers, he scored 21, then 10, 20, and then 13. I think he bounces back here today. I think he has a pretty good chance. The field goal attempts are there. I mean, 17 plus in all of these 4 games, and he's over 20.5 points in 14 of 19 career home games with 15 or more field goal attempts. He's not just attempting 15, he's attempting 17, 18, 19, 20. If he gets going, he's going to attempt more than that. That's a 73.6% clip rate. Look, I'll give you a little spoiler. He's in the parlay, long shot parlay for 100K payout. Jalen Green, we're going to need you to step up. I think you have a good chance. Best bet of the day, over 20.5 points. Like I said, I played up to 22.5. Let's keep it moving to my game pick of the day. We've been pretty good on these, 7-2, I believe, on the year. Bucks versus Pistons. I'm taking the over 224 points, minus 110 on FanDuel. Now, I think this line is a little bit of an overreaction. Normally, you don't get a lot of Bucks games in the low 220s. Bucks are a very fast-paced team. And in the game that they just played a couple days ago, final score was 110 to 108. And look, the teams shot, and the teams could not buy a bucket. I will put a side note, not going to put a lot of edits into these next couple picks because I'm trying to get the video out to you as soon as possible. Running a little bit delayed over here. But in that Pistons-Bucks game, Pistons shot 44% from the field. The Bucks shot 43.7. From 3, they shot 19 for 69, just a 27.5% clip rate. So basically any other shot that wasn't a three-pointer, they were knocking down. They just couldn't buy any threes, and I think they buy some threes today. The Pistons, 12th in pace. Bucks, 17th in pace. I think those are a little bit lower than where they probably are going to end up at the end of the year. Both teams want to play pretty fast. And at the end of the day, you look at the Pistons, this is a team that every game they've shot below 30% from the three-point line. The next game, they shoot above 40%. And while I don't expect them to shoot above 40% today, anything is better than what they did last game. And I can't guarantee, they make shots today. But I think the Bucks are going to leave people open. They gave up a lot of threes last year. I think Pistons will be able to knock down some. You look at prior to that game, the Pistons in their previous games have combined for 242, 248, 231. We look at Giannis, he had 5 fouls last game, settled for 4 3-pointers, going 0 for 4. I think if you get Giannis going in transition, the Pistons are a team that like to foul. We could see the Bucks in the bonus real quick. The Bucks could score 130 points tonight, make this over-under pretty easy to hit. So that's my game pick of the day. I'm taking the over 224 in that game. It was 223.5 on some books, but I wanted to make sure I was at the line that a lot of you people will probably get. Let's move on to 2 more player props before we talk about that parlay. Mitchell Robinson, over 13.5 points plus rebounds, minus 110 on DraftKings. Now, When I was looking at these lines, I saw 14.5 PRAs on a bunch of books. I like that. I saw 14.5 points plus rebounds on FanDuel for plus value. Like that as well. I think Mitchell Robinson has a pretty good day. He's another guy that you will find in the parlay giveaway. Mitchell Robinson, great buy low spot for him as today he's taken on the Hawks. And over his last 2 games, he's not been great. He struggled with foul trouble, I believe 5 fouls in both the games, resulting in him only playing 20 and 21 minutes. However, he still got close and hit the over in one of those games. He had 14 and 11 points plus rebounds in those 2 games. It was against the Cavaliers and the Bucks. He had to deal with Giannis coming into the paint. That's how he got into foul trouble. And then he had to deal with the Cavaliers and their length. Not going to be very easy to get, buckets for a guy like Mitchell Robinson. Doesn't really have a jump shot, although he does in the offseason. He doesn't have a jump shot normally in the games, and he's just going to be a guy that's really going to be a lob threat or scoring in the paint. But this is a great matchup against the Hawks. And look, so far this season, in every game that Mitchell Robinson has had 25 or more minutes, he's hit this over. He had 20 and 17 points plus rebounds. Robinson's specialty is rim running, rim protection, and offensive rebounding. Now, rim protection is going to be needed against Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, and guys like John Collins, Clint Capella coming into the paint, and they're going to need him out there. As for rim running, he's just the guy that's going to be able to go up there and catch lobs. We know Clint Capella is a guy that likes to block shots. Could he go for a block? Brunson dumps it off to Mitchell Robinson. Easy dunk. And then offensive rebounding is, I think, where the key is here. The Hawks allowing the 4th most offensive rebounds in the NBA. Look, Robinson has had a very good track record against Atlanta. In fact, in his last 8 games against them, he's averaged 11.3 points per game, 9.4 rebounds per game, hitting this over in 6 of those 8 games. The 2 games he missed, he had 2 field goal attempts. And he still finished with 12 and 13 points plus rebounds. While I can't predict a guy like Mitchell Robinson who kind of needs to be assisted the ball to score, he does have at least Jalen Brunson. He's a pretty good passer, one of the best point guards that obviously Mitchell Robinson's ever played with in his young career. And he's had 5 plus field goal attempts in 3 of the last 4 games. He had 4 in the 1 game he didn't miss it. I mean, Mitchell Robinson's a guy that shoots about 70% from the field. At the end of the day, you look at the centers, points plus rebounds combined versus Atlanta with at least 20 or more minutes played. Mitchell Robinson should easily see 20 or more minutes. I don't need to pronounce all these guys, but you look at every guy on the screen. I mean, I'll put all these guys up on the screen. I mean, all these guys have crushed the line. And a lot of these guys are not as talented as Mitchell Robinson. Robinson, not the best center in the world, but by far not the worst. And he's certainly capable of getting 14 points alone. So I really do think Mitchell Robinson has a pretty good day. We're taking his over 13.5 points plus rebounds. I think he has a good one. Go get it done, Mitch Rob. Now moving on to my final play of the day, unless we add one, then we'll talk about the parlay. Kyle Kuzma over 6.5 rebounds, minus 125 on FanDuel. Now, you don't see me taking a lot of juice props, and this necessarily isn't too juiced, but let's talk about this, because last time we took a Wizards rebounding prop, we got wronged at Kristaps Porzingis. So I'm going to Kuzma. Now, the Wizards will take on the Sixers once again, and I believe Joel Embiid is back in this game. He was out last one due to an illness. You saw them start PJ Tucker at the 5. But assuming Joel Embiid's back, and even if he isn't, which I do expect him back, even if he isn't, we saw Kuzma hit this over regardless, but the Sixers allow the 2nd most rebounds per game to opposing power forwards. That's Kuzma's position, and Kuzma hit this over in 4 of 7 games so far this season, including each of the last 3. Now, this Joel Embiid lineup, you saw without Joel Embiid on the floor, we saw Porzingis grabbing 9 rebounds, but with Embiid likely back, you're going to draw Porzingis out of the paint, potentially into foul trouble against Embiid, and ultimately it's going to free up the paint, and Kuzma's going to be the guy that's probably in the paint getting a lot of rebounds. Hence why the Philadelphia 76ers give up so many rebounds to opposing power forwards, because those are the guys normally guarding the PJ Tuckers, Tobias Harrises of the world that just kind of sit in the opposite corner from wherever James Harden or wherever Joel Embiid's going to work. In Kuzma's last 5 games versus the Philadelphia 76ers, he's had 9, 10, 16, 7, and 7 rebounds. You look at his last game versus Embiid especially, he hit this over, but you looked at his teammates, he had Dinwiddie getting 12 rebounds, he had Avdija having 9, Gafford getting 7, all of them hit this over. We look at Kuzma averaging 12.4 rebound chances per game. I'd like his chances to get a 7 on this game. It's an earlier start, actually like 6 p.m., but I think he has the potential to grab 10 or more tonight. He's going to be the 2nd leading rebounder likely on this team. I just think if Joel Embiid's back, Kristaps could get into foul trouble, Gafford could get into foul trouble. We're going to see, Kuzma just being the guy that cleans up on the glass. So I like Kuzma over 6.5 rebounds. Now, as always, the parlay of the day is here. Like I talked about, this parlay giveaway for 50K subscribers, payouts over 100K. If it hits, we're giving away $100 to 500 bucks to 25 random subscribers and $500 to 25 random COS All-Stars. Just make sure you like and subscribe to make sure you're entered. The first one, the guy we just talked about, Kuzma, 10 plus rebounds. Now this leg individually is plus 310. He had 16 and 10 in 2 of their last 4 matchups. He had 9 in the 5th matchup. And ultimately, if he's guarding PJ Tucker, I already talked about him, I think he can grab 10 rebounds tonight. And we've seen Kuzma do it before. I think he could certainly do it again. Give me plus 310 on this leg. I'll take it. Next guy, Mitchell Robinson. We just talked about him. Double-double. Look, he has a double-double in 4 of his last 8 versus the Hawks. The fact that this is plus 630 value, great buy low spot. I think this has a pretty good chance of hitting. I think this value should be around plus 300. The fact that we're getting over double that, plus 630. Sign me up. I think Mitchell Robinson has a good day. He's going to be needed to grab some reps in the paint. He could just be putting a bunch of offensive tip-ins. I think Mitch Rob has a pretty good day as long as he stays out of foul trouble. The next one, we haven't talked about this guy, Brook Lopez, 20 plus points, plus 410 or so. I considered his regular points over at 13.5. He's fresh off scoring 24 versus the Pistons, and he's had 20 plus points in 2 straight games. He's also scored 17 plus in 4 of his last 6 versus the Pistons, and he's been getting 10, 12, 15 field goal attempts because they're without Chris Middleton and the other guys can't buy buckets. I've seen crazier things. I think Brook Lopez is capable of scoring 20 plus points. Isaiah Stewart's normally going to be a guy that wants to contest people in the paint. Brook Lopez could knock down some shots today. 20 plus points. I like that as a leg. Jalen Green, 30 plus points. He's the best bet of the day. You could lower this to plus 25 plus if you want to, but he scored 33 in their first home game. He's really been stinking it up the past 4 games. I think the pendulum swings a little bit more towards his favor. The Clippers don't have much rim protection. Zubac is down there, but I have confidence in Jalen Green be able to finish there. And maybe Jalen Green stops shooting jump shots today. Maybe attacks the rim, and I think he has pretty good success against the Clippers in the paint. And then my final one, take us home. Luka Doncic, 40 plus points, plus 270. Look, Luka can score 40 on any given night. His regular over-under is like 32.5. It's ridiculous, but I considered a Luka triple-double, but I don't want to count on his teammates to knock down shots. And I think Luka, who scored 40 plus in 2 of the last 4, he scored 37 in one of those games that he didn't hit this 40 plus. I think he has a chance. I mean, they're playing on the Jazz, a fast-paced team. The Jazz have no one that can guard him. I don't think they're going to double team him either. So, look, Luka, one of the best scorers in the NBA. He's going to be able to get his shots up. Will he knock him down? Take us home. Cash his parlay. $26.13. You might be like, that's a weird number. Those are my 2 lucky numbers to pay out over $100,000. Hopefully, we're giving away some money. $25K could be, given away at the end of the night. If hopefully a couple of these legs at least hit, that would be electric. As a reminder, if the hits, we're giving away $25 or $500 to 25 random subscribers and people that like the video, and 25 to random COS All-Stars. Let's get into, I definitely butchered that, but you understand it by now. Let's talk about some All-Stars and let's wrap up the video. We got Ken, we got Luka, we got SMJ Choi, we got Taylor, we got T Green, CMO, Anthony, Dumpling, Dinkins, Harrison, HEI, Michael, Pierce, Joshua, P-Dub, Michael, Not Invis, David, Luis, Alexander, Kevin, Matthew, it's Vibs, it's Vibes, who knows, Benjamin, Cameron, BK Langley, John, Chandler, Chris, Simplicity 27, Gene, No Plug, Andrew, Dexter, Nick, Joachim, Wesley, Cody, Samuel, Gem Kids, Matthew, Gino, Doug, Kevin, Jericho, definitely butchered that, Zay, and Eddie. Appreciate you guys as always for supporting the channel. Hopefully we're giving back to some of you guys if this parlay hits. Appreciate you guys as always. The longer video, it's electric. Let's have a great Wednesday. Back again tomorrow for some more picks. Let's go cash this parlay of the day. And I'll see you guys back again on the next one. Peace out.